If you so much as existed in 2020, you know that this year sucked for everyone. Doesn't matter how old you were, where you're from, everything was terrible this year. And I figured, since we're winding down to the very last bit of it, this will come out after the year's ended already, so thank God for that. But at the moment, we are still in 2020, and I figured if I'm going to work my way to be a content creator, the best way to do that is to just be open and honest and make a very comfortable community for anyone who decides they want to stick around. So with that being said, I am going to share my 2020 experience. And it's rough. So, I mean, basically it started out like any other year, you know, it was great, you know, January, brand new year, brand new me, and it never happens. Nothing ever changes. So yeah, I had actually just left the job that I hated very, very much, and I got a job that I liked a lot, and it was wonderful. And that was like, oh yeah, January is going great for me. I'm here for it. Let's do it. We're good. Next thing I know, it is February something. I don't have dates in my head, but I'm just going off the timeline that I remember. So then comes February, and I got accepted to like my dream school, basically. And as you've probably seen in previous videos, that's where I go now, which is insane. And then March happens, and everything goes down the drain. Go figure. This is when COVID started, in case you didn't know. Officially started, I should say. Or officially declared as a pandemic, I should say, actually. Everything shut down. I was at work and we were just living our lives, doing our thing, and then we got the call to shut everything down and go home for months. We thought, oh yeah, we'll be back in April, it'll be fine. It's December and nothing has changed. So yeah, that was the downfall for just about everyone. I mean, everyone like lost their jobs and everything was just terrible. Nobody could live their normal life. But that was not the only thing that happened in March. I actually lost my house, which was super weird, but it's a thing that happens, you know? It happens. It was one of those things where, you know, funding was not right because of certain circumstances, and it just happened. So I moved to where I live now, in my bedroom here, and it's great, actually. You know, I'm like 10 minutes from my job, from my school, my university. Everything is great. I'm saving money on gas. I don't have to get up in 2 hours before I have to go to work or school. It's great. Everything is wonderful. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this happened for the better. You know, what could go wrong? You know, I'm right here, I'm right where I need to be, I'm doing good things in life. Right? Yeah, more or less. So come April, there's still no working, it's nothing. Everything has gotten worse. Of course it got worse. What did we expect? It's a global pandemic. They don't go away overnight. And the Black Plague lasted for 8 years. And at this rate, I think we're gonna be in the same boat. Unfortunately. So, I mean, nothing really happened like over the summer, honestly. I was just kind of vibing, you know? I spent like all of like the basis of quarantine, playing Animal Crossing, playing video games, doing whatever the hell I wanted, and minding my business. It was great. It was great. And I got the call saying, hey, we're gonna have you come back to work. And that was a mistake because, well, you'll find out later. But yeah, I went back to work in like June or July or something like that. I think it was after the 4th of July. And I was like, oh, this is cool, this is great. Things are going back to normal. No, of course not. We all know that. We know better than to think that. In this year, whatever's happening, you know, my parents are divorcing, and it's like, you know what? It's probably for the better. It happens. Whatever. It is what it is. And it was weird at first. I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of like, this is weird, but I know they're not happy. So it was one of the things that I was like, okay, yeah, I'm just gonna accept this, and everything is gonna be fine. But of course, it was like, is this my fault? Because, you know, I was always like around my parents, and I was like, well, maybe I kind of felt like I was the glue to them because I'm the youngest kid in the family, and I was always home. I was like, well, now that I'm gone, it's my fault that they split up because they didn't have a middle ground. Obviously, it's not true, but it was still kind of like, huh, this is weird. This is really, really weird. So I just kind of learned to accept that things were happening the way that they were, and I was like, okay, this is fine, okay? It's not my fault. Everything is good, more or less. But lo and behold, 2020 kept on giving, and it did not stop. A few months later, I found out that my mom got arrested for a DUI, which is part of the reason we lost the house too, is because my parents were both heavy drinkers. Which, again, it happens. Not something that I can control, not something that I really want to step into too much, but it is how it is. And it was one of those things where I was like, man, I was her rock for a long time. Because I was always there, you know, we were like best friends, you know, thick as thieves. And then I left, and her life just kind of spiraled down. And I was like, oh man, this is really on me, isn't it? You know, like she's doing all this crazy stuff, and I'm not there to tell her no. I was kind of like, man, this sucks. You know, I feel like I'm at fault for a lot of things that I had no control over. And I was kind of like, yeah, this is what has to happen for life to move on, especially in 2020. But it was weird to accept. And of course, not much longer after that, actually, just like right after Thanksgiving, I lost a job that I had just gotten in January that I loved very much. Unfortunately, you know, with everything being closed down and the pandemic, we didn't have enough businesses to pay everyone, and I was one of the people that got let go, which is fine. You know, I understand it's for the good of the company, but it sucked because I had never ever lost a job before, and it was weird. I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, you know what, yeah, I know that my performance has kind of been sucky, but I had just been working through college, and I was doing like full-time, and I was a full-time student too. I was taking 11 classes, which you probably already know if you've seen past videos, and I was like, okay, yeah, this makes sense. I wasn't doing too great, and it just was how it was. You know, and come, you know, to today, I still don't have a job. I can't find anything because they're limiting faculty and they're limiting everything, basically. And it's like, oh man, I just didn't know what to do with myself. Like throughout the year, I could gradually tell that I personally was getting worse because I didn't know what to do. Like, I'm so used to being busy all the time. Like, I don't ever just stop. I never stop. I'm always going. And this kind of forced me to take this break that it's like, oh man, everything sucks, doesn't it? Like, I was using my own busyness to be like, yeah, everything is fine. I'm doing my own thing. I can ignore my problems. Everything goes away. Everything is fine. No. No. So, come full term, 2020 sucked. We all know it. It happens. We're hoping that 2021 will not be as bad, and by the time you're seeing this, it'll be the 2nd of January 2021. And here's to hoping that this year doesn't suck. And I hope everyone has the best year they possibly can. Positive vibes for everyone. Just everything. Just fingers crossed for good stuff in 2021, because Lord knows we need some good luck. And after all is said and done, I do want my channel to be a very safe place for everyone. You know, I think we should be able to like talk about stuff like this and just be comfortable. It doesn't matter who you are, whatever, what you identify as, it's cool. So yeah, thanks for sticking around this year, even though I've kind of been slacking off on everything since the semester started, basically. And I appreciate everyone who's joined, who even left. To everyone who stuck around, thank you. You just inspired me to keep going and keep doing this. You know, even though I have a small community, I love it. So, thank you very much. Here's to a happy 2021. Good luck, everyone.